Okay, I hope you guys had a good weekend. We are starting with a new week. We are still doing sequences and series. So before you complete today's lesson, please make sure you have completed last week's work. The first thing I want you guys to do is write down a couple vocabulary words. So the first one in your notes, I would like you to copy this down. Press pause, copy it down, and when you're ready to fill it in, press play. So a series is the sum of the terms in a sequence. So here are 3 examples of sequences. And a series is when you add the terms together. It's very simple. So for this sequence, it starts at 1 and this one actually ends at 4. So to find this sequence, all we have to do is just add 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, which gives you 10. So the series for the first example is 10. Now the series for this one, for the next one right here, notice that this one has the 3 dots at the end. Remember, that means that the sequence does not stop and it keeps going. So for instance, if we wanted to find the next term, we got to find out what that pattern is. So it looks to me to go from 3 to 6, you add 3. Let's see if that keeps working. 6 plus 3 is 9, and then 9 plus 3 is 12. So it looks like our pattern here is just keep adding 3. So what I did is I used the scientific calculator, the Desmos scientific calculator that I showed you guys last week, and I added some terms together. So the first thing I did is I added the 4 that it gave me, and when I added those together, it equals 30. But it's not asking me to find the sum or the series of just those 4. It's asking me to find the sum of them of all the terms, which all terms means infinitely many. We just got to figure out what this is going to add to eventually. So what I did is I then added 2 more terms. So I kept that pattern going and I added 3 to 12 and then I added 3 to 15 to get my 2 extra terms. I found the sum of those, then I got 63. So notice obviously it's going to get to a larger number. I just wanted to do one more. What I did is I added 3 more terms now. I kept that pattern the same though. So they're 3 plus 3 plus 3. Added all those together and this time I got 135. So what I wanted you guys to see was that obviously the sum is getting larger and it's not going to stop. It's just going to keep getting larger and larger and larger. So therefore the series of this sequence, because it has the 3 dots, because the sequence never ends, that series is actually going to be infinity because it's going to keep going on forever. All right, now the next example is very similar. You still have the 3 dots, but you are now adding the fractions. And these fractions, unlike this one, these fractions are not getting larger. These numbers are getting larger. These fractions are actually getting smaller. And the easiest way for me to explain it is think about like a pizza. If you ate half of a pizza and your friend ate a quarter of a pizza, who ate more pizza? Well, the first guy ate more pizza. Half a pizza is more than a quarter of a pizza. So therefore, the numbers are getting smaller. These fractions are smaller. So what I'm going to do is the same exact process before. So what I did is I added the first 4 fractions and I saw what I got. So I got 0.9375. That is what my series or my sum was. So what I wanted to do is, because the 3 dots, that means that this pattern is going to go on forever and I'm going to add an infinitely amount of terms. I did 1 more term. And what I noticed was that my denominators were doubling. So like if I doubled 2, I got 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. And 16 times 2 is 32. When I added these 2, I got 0.96. A little bit larger, but not much larger. So I kept it going. I added 1 more term. So double 32 is 64. I added all of these fractions together and I got 0.98. Once again, a little bit larger, but not by much. Nothing like the last one. And then here I added another term, so 1 over 28. I just wanted to see what would happen if I did it again. So when I added all of these together, I got 0.99. Now what would happen is that if I kept adding more and more terms like this would never ever exceed 1. It would just get very, very, very close to 1. So if you're adding fractions and those fractions are getting smaller, then what the series is, remember series just means sum, that sum would be 1. All right, next vocabulary in your notes. Once again, pause the video, copy this down. We've got 4 examples, and then we're done for the lesson today. So the partial sums, the definition is the sum of just a specified number of terms. So now it's not asking us to add the infinite number of terms. It's going to tell us how many terms they want us to add together. So the way that we write partial sums, and remember that word is called denote. So the way that we denote partial sums is S sub n. N is going to be replaced by a number, as you see. So this example 1, it says find the partial sums for each given sequence. So for number 1, it's asking us to find S sub 9. So it's saying find the sum of the first 9 terms. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down S sub 9 is equal to, well, let's write down what they gave us so far. And what I want to do is I want to, I made a little mistake. We'll just put a plus. I want to add them together. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. And it's asking us to find 9 terms, the first 9 terms. Well, I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms. I have to add 4 more terms together. It's very simple to find the pattern. It's just going up by 1. So we're going to have to go up to 9. Oops, dang. Give me a second, guys. I'm so sorry. So plus 7, this should say plus 8, and then plus 9. There we go. So let's see if we're adding 9 terms. And we are adding 9 terms, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And when we add all those together, I use my scientific calculator. And you can look right here. So when we add those together, we get 45. So therefore, S sub 9 is equal to 45. Okay, number 2 is asking us to find S sub 4. So S sub 4 is saying using the sequence, add the first 4 terms together. So this is term 1, term 2, term 3, and term 4. Those are the only 4 we're going to add together. So 4 plus 7 plus 13 plus 25. And I used my calculator. And I got 4 right here is 49. So our answer is 49 for this one. Here's asking for S6, S sub 6, so the first 6 terms. Term 1, term 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need 1 more. What we need to do is find out what this pattern is. So let's see, we added 3 here to get to 4. From 4 to 9, we add 5. From 9 to 16, we add 7. From 16 to 25, we add 9. So it looks like the pattern is we're adding 2 more. So that means to get to the next one, we need to add 11. And then so 25 plus 11 is 36. So that'll be our 6th term. So S6 is going to be 1 plus 4 plus 9 plus 16 plus 25 plus 36. And I used my calculator right here. I know it's kind of, you can't really see very well, but I added those together and I got 91. So this is equal to 91. And then number 4 is asking us to find S sub 3. So it's asking us to find the sum of the first 3 terms, term 1, term 2, and term 3. So 1 plus 1/2 plus 1/3. I use my calculator again. It's, once again, I'm sorry about this, it's hard to see, but I added 1 plus 1/2 plus 1/3, and I got 11/6. So that is it for the lesson today. What I have for you, do have an assignment today also. It is very short. It's only 2 questions. I'd like you to do it on a separate sheet of paper. It'll just be in Schoology ready for you to complete. And I will see you tomorrow.